Hello and welcome to Client for Life. I'm actually going to tell you today's date is Thursday the 25th of February. Why would I do that? I'll do that because you probably won't watch this for a couple of days, and the political climate in Australia is changing by the hour. So now that we've got that out of the way, we made a prediction a week ago that what the government was really trying to do in the overall scheme of things is collect more tax. Now, at Solid, when they came out and said they're going to attack negative gearing, we were actually quite relieved because we would love this whole negative gearing debate out in the open, done and dusted. Let's agree something so we can all move forward. But what's actually happening is that we've got the Neil Mitchells of this world saying, well, isn't it interesting? It's the average mums and dads out there that are negative gearing. So let's look at the statistics. The statistics are that 20% of the Australian taxpayers contribute to 1% of tax revenue. 16.5% of the Australian taxpayers equate to 80% of the Australian income tax revenue. And you can all imagine what's happening in the middle. But if you've got 16.5% generating 80% of the tax revenue, and you put them under attack, it's such a small percentage of the Australian working community. So what I personally feel is that they've looked at GST, and that was deemed unpopular. They moved very quickly to negative gearing, only to find that when you negatively gear and your interest rate is 4.8%, most properties are positively geared. Now, if they were to fix that, they'd attack new properties, but they don't want to do that. Why would they attack new properties? Because that's where the depreciation is. But if they attack new properties, they actually work out that stunts growth completely. It'll grind the whole place to a grinding halt. So at the end of the day, they're now moving on to capital gains tax. So I did some research and found that $2 billion of taxpayers' refunds comes from negative gearing. $5 billion actually comes from the capital gains tax 50% exemption. So I actually suspect they'll try and tackle that next. What I also found quite amazing is when I looked at the revenue areas and where the government deems they're losing revenue, they even came out and made a comment saying they're losing $150 billion a year in people selling their own private homes and not paying tax on it. So that's an interesting aspect, and I'm not saying for 1 minute they're going to attack that, but quote unquote, everything's up for grabs at the moment. But it certainly seems that the negative gearing has become unpopular. And I, for one, really don't have the confidence in either government to tell us what's going to stimulate the economy and what's going to actually crush the economy in terms of housing. And it's really interesting, only 4.5% of the Australian population are first home buyers. 31% are buying properties for investment, and 43% are buying and selling homes that they live in. 12% is foreign investors, 8.5% is superannuation funds. So when you look at the whole purpose of let's try and help first home buyers, and everybody knows I've got a whole contingent of first home buyers in my program and they're on budgets and they're saving to get their first deposit together. But if we attack the whole negative gearing, we're actually attacking 31% of the population in favour of 4.5%. Now, anyone knows those maths are not going to stack up long term. So, look, we won't go historically back on what they do and don't want to do because, as I said, it's changing by the hour. But it certainly appears, as of Thursday, the 25th of February, we're now looking at capital gains tax. So good luck there. So that's really just my negative gearing update. And as you all know, in today, when interest rates at 4.5%, it's not negative gearing that's giving the refunds, it's the depreciation. And if we started taking depreciation in the taxation system, I don't know where we end up then. So anyway, thank you for listening. I hope you're all enjoying your week, and I look forward to hopefully communicating with you again in another week's time. Thank you. Bye.